Hi, I'm Frank from the Watchdog team, and today we're digging into another project that looks shiny on the surface but makes my reporter's hairs stand up. The name is SmartDirect500, the site is smartdirect500.com, and if you've seen the slick landing pages, the confident promises of arbitrage, automated trading and signals, and the pushy upsells for premium plans, you're not alone. We spent time crawling through every public corner of this operation, and what we found is the sort of pattern that should make anyone who cares about their savings stop, breathe, and think twice. From the first glance, SmartDirect500 speaks the language traders want to hear: CFDs, crypto indices, leverage that ranges from modest to aggressive, a minimum deposit pitched as accessible, and multiple phone numbers masquerading as global support. The marketing is polished and urgent, full of implied competence, but marketing is not evidence. Beneath the glossy veneer, there is a painful absence of the things that real brokers live and die by: verifiable licensing, a consistent corporate history, a transparent trading infrastructure, and reliable proof that your money is actually being traded on the market rather than shuffled behind a curtain. There are concrete, objective elements that set off alarm bells. The reported office address sits in the UK, yet searches of Companies House return nothing that connects SmartDirect500 to a legitimate registered corporate entity. The phone numbers listed belong to Switzerland, Germany and Austria, scattered across jurisdictions with no coherent legal home for the business. The domain itself is brand new, registered in mid-July 2025, and Moy's details are anonymous. The web archive shows no meaningful history. In other words, this is a freshly minted website with borrowed trappings of credibility and no track record to back up its claims. And then there's the product promise. SmartDirect500 advertises a roster of account tiers, standard through premium, and sprinkles in words like personal manager, auto software, trading signals, and deposit protection. Those are powerful psychological levers. A novice investor hears personal manager and feels led. Auto software and signals suggest effortless gains, but the site fails to explain how these services actually work, who builds the software, or who evaluates the signals. There is no evidence of audited performance records, no independent third-party verification, and no listing in any well-known trading network. Claims without transparent mechanics are simply promises with no accountability. Perhaps the most damning practical issue is the absence of a clearly identified trading platform. Real brokers advertise MetaTrader, CTrader, or a proprietary platform with technical specifications, connection partners, and liquidity providers named up front. SmartDirect500 does not. That leaves open the possibility that what users see on the screen is an interface layered over simulated data, or that price feeds are borrowed without true order routing. When a site presents charts and balances without transparent market connectivity, what you're viewing may be theatre rather than execution. On the money side, the pattern repeats. Deposit mechanisms are vaguely described, withdrawal procedures are opaque, and user dashboards reportedly fail to reflect transactions consistently. The registration flow appears intentionally frictionless at first, designed to lower the barrier to deposit, and then switches to invasive verification demands once a withdrawal is requested. Asking for scanned IDs is standard. Asking for full banking chains, SWIFT confirmations, or exhaustive financial histories at the point of withdrawal is not. That's the classic squeeze. Make it easy to send money and then manufacture obstacles, fees, compliance checks, last-minute taxes that keep funds locked unless the client pays more. Beyond the mechanics, there's a human element that's hard to quantify but impossible to ignore. We saw multiple first-person accounts from people who described the same arc. A friendly manager calls, small early withdrawals are allowed to build trust, followed by requests for larger deposits, and then an avalanche of hoops to jump through when they try to take their money back. One striking pattern is the emotional manipulation. The language shifts from helpful to urgent, from informative to insistent. When headlines promise rapid profit, that urgency often serves the seller more than the buyer. So what's the practical takeaway? For anyone watching this and considering SmartDirect500, the safe, sober answer is simple. Do not deposit funds. Check regulatory registries, demand verifiable licensing information, and insist on seeing audited performance data. If you've already given money to this site and are now seeing the familiar pattern of delays and excuses, stop further transfers immediately, preserve all correspondence and transaction records, contact your bank or card issuer to explore chargebacks, and report the matter to local law enforcement and financial authorities. Reach out to specialized recovery services only after documenting everything carefully. I know that caution can feel like pessimism when the marketing is loud and confident, but prudence protects capital. Hype and pressure erode it. The financial sector has plenty of legitimate, regulated providers who will gladly accept due diligence and show you the paperwork, the regulators, the proof of order routing and segregation of client funds. SmartDirect500, by contrast, presents the form of a broker without the substance. At heart, this is about accountability. Real brokers stand up to scrutiny. They don't shy away from public verification because they have nothing to hide. They publish license numbers you can cross-check, list physical corporate entities and officers, and provide transparent terms for deposits and withdrawals. When a platform chooses opacity over openness, when it prefers emotional persuasion to factual disclosure, that choice tells you exactly what matters to the people running it. If you value your capital, and I assume you do, treat glossy promises with a healthy dose of skepticism. Demand evidence, verify claims independently, and never be rushed into transferring money because a deadline or limited offer is waving at you from a banner. SmartDirect500 looks and feels like a carefully constructed lure. Attractive, confident, and ultimately dangerous for anyone who hands it real money. Protect your savings by choosing firms that earn trust through transparency, rather than manufacture it with slogans and shiny buttons. Lost money with a broker? Find out how to get it back. Contact us at watchdogonline.proton.me and leave your name and phone number so we can get back to you. The Watchdog Online team stands guard over your safety. Together we will make the internet better.